apparently you're not allowed to fire anybody. If that's what all these judges are saying, you're not allowed to fire people. And you had finally today they were given or yesterday given the green light to go ahead and start firing these USAID people. Yep. So that workforce is going to be cut. I don't know if you've been by. Anybody here been? You were in D.C. You go by that building now. It is a ghost town.
Oh yeah, they're all taped up.
They have to keep taping it over because the activists keep going back. No, we're gonna reopen it. And they rip the tape off. And
I'm sorry. I live in the real world where we got little restaurants down the street. Little small family grills and diners. Ain't not a single person in that building cares about what USAID is. No. Because, look, a lot of people on the right are going to be like, people like that we're getting rid of this stuff. I'm like, oh, technically. The truth is, they have no idea what you're talking about. Who are these people cheering for USAID?
It is kind of bizarre, the people cheering for USAID. And it's also true in terms of these government employees and their weird chat rooms and whatever else they're doing. Like, what's one of the biggest reasons someone takes a government job? It's because of stability. It's because of good benefits. So, I mean, if you take a government job, you can expect to have it for, a decade at least. You can expect to not get fired. So, I mean, already you have
this. That's the temptation, though. If you expect to not get fired, you could also expect to not, get in trouble for anything.
Right.
More temptation to get away with things, like weird chat rooms.
Right.
I think there should be an ethics investigation on these people. I was in the confirmation hearing for Kash Patel for 5 hours, and they were grilling him on both sides for the entire day. But, thank God he's in now as a new FBI director. And I mean, we kicked out George Santos from Congress. People like Swalwell, get him out. An ethics investigation put in on all them. We're talking about revoking the clearance. We got to do at least something here to prevent this from continuing.
Right. I mean, you can see it's very, very clear, especially with the Swalwell situation, why people don't trust Congress. They don't trust. What are they at? Are they at a 9% approval rating at this point? It's because you have a bunch of sleaze bags in there.
There's nothing you said that's
he's probably
wrong.
in one of the chat rooms too. I mean,
you think Swalwell's in there?
Right. He's a weird dude.
Nothing that you said is wrong, but
no, it is. Sorry, it's 29%. It is. I mean,
really?
Fine, but the
29%. It must be Congress.
Look.
It's Congress and the staff. Yeah.
But the point is that it's not just that Congress is full of scumbags. That's something that's been kind of apparent to everybody for a long, long time. The reason that there is such record distrust of government is because of COVID. It's because of the way that the government treated the American people during COVID.
Well, that's when it really got exposed. That's when people really got red pilled.
Yes.
Because it became so obvious.
But I agree. And I do kind of feel like I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say it, but I feel like it's beating a dead horse at this point. It's, we're several years on now. Trump won a popular mandate. People are very pissed off about all that. Trump is going to go in, and we hope, despite these blanket pardons, Kash and Dan start digging up more information and exposing that we're on the next level of these things. What I'm really curious about right now is, how are there people marching around D.C. cheering for an agency no one's ever heard of? There was a segment on Fox where they were pointing out these Democrats are doing these protests, and there's a bunch of photos popping up where a couple Democrat senators and members of Congress are at a podium with no activists, no protesters. And the argument being made on X, and so I believe Fox made this argument, is when you cut USAID funding, which was not just USAID, but some of these other government programs funneling to nonprofits, the paid organization of protests doesn't happen anymore. So now when we see Democrats protest, there's no people.
Right.
Yeah,
there's two things to consider.
People aren't getting paid out for it.
Well, people don't, 99% of the time, people are not paid to protest. And this is a mistake a lot of conservatives consistently have made over the past 15, 20 years, is they say that George Soros is funding paid protesters. No. George Soros, Open Society Foundation, provides grants to various nonprofits of certain political persuasions. Those nonprofits will dispatch 2 organizers, maybe more, into a college area to flyer and pamphlet to generate real protesters. Now, in actuality, these kids have no idea what they're talking about.
Right.
But they just say, show up. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.